I think that Britpop is like one of the most overlooked genres of in regards to alternative rock. Like it's not as appreciated as it should be. And like when it is like brought up in discussions, like when people are talking about like alternative rock and everything, they usually like mostly like associate Britpop with like the big names of like that said genre. Like bands like Oasis, Blur, Radiohead, those three groups. I mean, don't get me wrong; those are really good bands and everything. But I mean, I. But the thing is, I like a whole like enchilada of like groups from that genre. Like there's like stuff like Supergrass, Elastica, the and like Skunk Anansie, Super Furry Animals, Underworld, like Left Field, Pulp. Those are bands that just at the top of my head that I think deserve more appreciation, just as much as like the big names of like that British alternative rock. And like I mean, it's the same thing with alternative rock in general. I mean, when most people talk about it, they mostly associate it with like, I mean, at least some people, at least, like they mostly associate it with like the big names of like, grunge, like Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Stone Temple Pilots, Alice in Chains, that sort of thing. I mean, like I said, I dig those bands, but I also dig, stuff like the Nixons, you know, oh yeah, Ned's Atomic Dustbin is another band, from Britpop and everything. But like, the Nixons, Toadies, Butthole Surfers, you know, Buffalo Tom, Bikini Kill, Gigolo Ants, Deadeye Dick, Drama Rama, Data, Dog's Eye View, Grantley Buffalo, and like the Darling Buds, all that good stuff, all this stuff that like that you just don't hear people talk about it as much, and like I don't tend to like rub it into people who don't know that stuff, but I mean I can be a bit of a genre Nazi or like somebody who I can be sort of like a hipster doofus at when it comes to that shit. But it's just because I like a lot of areas of alternative rock and not just like a certain select few you know in regards to bands or genres and or subgenres. I mean, and so like I've seen the movie like 24 Hour Party People. That basically revolves around like the Britpop subculture. I mean, it's sort of. I mean, if you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. And like Train Spotting, a lot of the bands on that soundtrack, in those bands need more appreciation. You know, because like I love Underworld. I have like two of their albums, and like and I'm a fan of Train Spotting. I have a T-shirt of the movie, and I have a DVD of the film too. But but yeah, those bands, need more appreciation. They need more like, you know. But I mean, it's fine because like, a lot of people. I mean, there are people that just don't follow music at all, which is fine. I mean, I don't like to. I'm not the kind of guy who like shoves it in people's faces and says, "Hey, I like this band and you don't, so fuck you." I don't do that shit. I mean, unless if the guy is a total prick. But if there's one band that I consider very obscure in regards to like British alternative rock, it would have to be this band. This is a band called Pusherman. As a matter of fact, the manager of this band was actually the manager of Oasis, and this Ignition Records is actually the manager's record label. So yeah, so the manager of Oasis. Well, here's the thing. When I found this CD at like Techno Records, that old record store that's no longer around, I saw this sticker and it says, the boundless possibilities of the Verve, Oasis, and the Doors, spun out for late night pleasure. It says Melody Maker, I guess like a magazine article or but anyway, so it's like yeah, they all Ignition Records. They also associate with Epic Records when they released this album. So this is a pretty good album. This is a really good CD. I mean, this is a good band, and like their their number one single is called "Sold," which is the second track off this album. So the reason why this band has not gotten the appreciation they deserve is because this is literally the only album they've ever made in existence. See, from what I read, there was like a lot of like most of like the members had like a ton of like drug problems. Like they like they would just do heroin, I guess, and like that would just like fuck up their musical abilities. And well, I mean, take a look at like most of the people from the 27 Club. I mean, and like Jimi Hendrix, Amy Winehouse, Janis Joplin, drugs, alcohol, and shit like that. And yeah, it's just like hard substances like that. Like that could fuck up your like musical ability. It can also fuck up your relationships with like your like your band members and everything. And like it just becomes like a fucking train wreck, and like you can't like you know pick it up any further. I mean, that's just how it is. Like it's like a rise and fall type shit. So yeah, they did a lot of heroin, and basically that was like the kiss of death. But this band really does need more appreciation. This is like one of the bands that I mentioned earlier, of like the other bands that I mentioned from Britpop or British alternative that need more like love. And like when I saw the sticker that it says they're similar to the Verve and Oasis, I had to pick it up because I like bands like that. I like those bands. So, and I'm still digging through thrift stores and everything because I want to be because I like to be eclectic. I don't just want to listen to the same old classic rock songs like what 97.1 The Drive plays like 10 classic rock songs in like different orders every fucking day. But I'm rambling. So but I like this band. I like this album. And for $3, I mean, you can't beat it. I mean, like, I would really love to see like a reunion, but I don't know. So yeah, this band has basically completely fallen off the face of the earth. It has not been like but I like their songs. A lot of their songs are like over like 5 or 6 minutes, and like there's 10 songs off this. It's kind of like how like several bands have like those EPs that like have like songs like 4 or 5 songs on it that are like 10 minutes. It's kind of like how classical musicians like Mozart or Stravinsky, their CDs have like their songs played for over like you know 10 to 15 minutes at most. But yeah, I mean, this is kind of similar to that, but I would not consider this like Britpop though. They're just straight up alternative rock, because like Britpop is more like upbeat, in regards to shit. But they do sort of have like a Nine Inch Nails feel, because like they have like I mean I don't know, they have like sort of a industrial feel, but they're mostly just straight up alternative rock. So, but I dig this album. I mean, all their songs, So Long and Low is a great one. But I mean, if you could find this anywhere, like a flea market, or see, to be honest, I sort of dropped it earlier, so it's kind of cracked. But I mean, of course, the CD is still good. It's saved in there. But anyway, so if you could find this anywhere, your local record shop or flea market, thrift store, anything, you should definitely check this band out and just give it a go, or just look, see if like the song "Sold" is on like on YouTube, and just see if they have a music video for it, and just see for yourself. And if you like it, definitely give it a go. And you know, like I said, I definitely recommend it. And that's it. Pusherman, Floored, released in 1996 from Ignition Records. Thanks for watching.